Welcome back. You're still tuned into the Wednesday edition of the nation's most revered breakfast show, Good Morning Namibia. Dundee Precious Metals Incorporated is a gold mining company engaged in acquisition, exploration, development, mining and processing of precious metals. In 2010, the company acquired the Tsumeb smelter operations from Ongopolo Mining and Processing Group and the Weatherly International PLC. Originally established in the early 1960s, the smelter remains one of a few in the world that can treat complex copper concentrates such as blister copper and sulfuric acid smelter products. Dundee Precious Metals on Monday acquired the Osino Resources Corporation, at least that's when the announcement was made, and they're the owners of the Twin Hills Gold Project for $214 million US. With more details, I'm joined this morning by Mr. Kasete, who is the Managing Director and Vice President of Dundee Precious Metals. Good morning, sir, and welcome to Good Morning Namibia.
Good morning, and good morning, Namibia.
How are you doing on this gift of a Wednesday morning?
I'm extremely happy. Still working while others are enjoying themselves.
Yes, we've got to push.
We get to push.
Yeah. For those Namibians tuned in at the moment who may not be familiar with Dundee, let's start there. Let's give an overview of the operations of Dundee, please.
Sure. Thank you for that question. Dundee is an innovative, social and environmentally responsible gold mine. We have operations in Namibia, the smelter, as you know that. We have two operating mines in Bulgaria. We have a developing projects in Serbia, as well as another one in Ecuador. We are headquarters in Toronto, Canada.
Very well. Now, having learned about this latest acquisition, and before we get into the fundamentals of that, what will entail, how would you say that relates to the trajectory that the company is on? Where is it that you believe you are heading?
Sure. Dundee, we have a very good, these Twin Hill acquisitions give us a good opportunity to add to our existing portfolio. As I've said, we have two mines in Bulgaria. We have a very good project in Serbia, and this one add to that. But Dundee is a gold mine. We produce roughly 270,000 ounces a year and 300 million pounds of copper. So these acquisitions really give us a good pipeline for productions moving forward.
What does the deal entail?
Oh, the deals entails is that the acquisition, as you have already mentioned, of that, and then we are going to grow the business. For constructions, we are looking at actually around between 6 and 7 billion Namibian dollar just during the construction phase. We are looking at employing probably 500 to 600 construction employees. And then when you get into full production, we require at least close to 900 full-time employees. And as you know, in Namibia, we say for each mining employees, we have a multiple effect of 6 people. So that's the impact what we're going to have. But most significantly, it will add to Namibia becoming a very significant player in the gold production. This is, we are looking at 175,000 ounces, which is almost close to 5 tons of gold production per year. So Namibia will become a significant player, but not as big as other countries, but really this is a view to start their production.
Big is a very relative term. If we're talking about between 6 and 7 billion Namibian dollars, we're talking about a figure that's very comparable to the country's gross domestic product. Please provide some context of that figure, because that is what you're saying is what will be invested during the construction phase alone. So we are talking about an enormous plant, are we not?
So basically what I'm saying is a 6 billion to 7 billion. That will start next year, 2024, for the 3 years, 2024, 2025, and mid-2026. That's when the construction is supposed to finish, and we start commissioning with that, and by end of 2026 we think we should be getting closer to nameplate capacity. So that's just for construction. In addition to that, once we get in full production, we are looking at another probably 663 million Namibian dollar, which are going to be spent on local goods and services. This is almost 70% of what we think is going to be required. But more importantly, I think for the Namibians, we need to say is that the mine we invested that will be a 13-year production. But as you know, mining company, that's the initial, what we say. If you just go back and reflect on Navahab when they started. Navahab, I think if my memory serves it well, in 1990, that's when it started. It was just a 10-year production. We are now 2023, 33 years in production, still running. We still have more years to move forward. I think this is what we are having here with Twin Hill is just the beginning of the bigger mines coming forward. The contributions, what the Twin Hill is going to contribute in the 13 years, when looking at least 9 billion to the fiscus, which is equivalent of saying that at least 7 million Namibian dollars every year for the 13 years. But I think what's more exciting around these projects or this acquisition is that it gives us more opportunity also to exploration activities. The Osino team has done a great job. In fact, I need to congratulate Hayo and his team. In fact, I know Hayo very well. As young metallurgist, I used to work with him. He was a mining engineer. And he's one of the few Namibians who have taken a project from the beginning and take it to a level where somebody with a big muscles can come and take it over. He did that with the Oshikoto. B2 Gold came in. And they, being a junior company, have done again with this one project. And Dundee has come in to help with taking it to construction and full production. Ultimately, that's what they are looking for. But what they said is that they have found 2 other particular projects, which is we are going to look at that in the near future. And I just want to give a Namibian perspective where Osino is. I'm sure people are trying to figure out where this is Osino. If you are driving from Karipep or Maruru direction, around 10 kilometers there where there's an Air Force base, on your right-hand side, you drive another 5 kilos somewhere there. That's where the Twin Hill deposit is. And then they have 2 interesting projects or deposits what they have found, very early stage. One is called Ondundu, that is in Omashete area, a place called Ondundu Shiapa. And then there's another one which is just also very exciting projects which they're looking at between Oucho to Korihas. I think there's a place, the farm called Ongwari area there. There's another project. So basically these acquisitions really open up a lot of opportunities. I don't think Namibia is well explored when it comes to gold mine. I think the new geologists are coming and have come very good techniques of doing with that. And for that, I think that's where Dundee comes in. Dundee is one of the, we have of course we have the capital.
Yeah, before we proceed, Mr. Kasete, there cannot be a dispute about how exciting these developments are. Notwithstanding the fact that Namibia is becoming increasingly attractive to investors, we do know that we battle with a skills gap in this country. Of those that will be employed during the construction phase, but also once the operations are in full swing, what percentage of the workforce will be Namibian, and what is it that you plan to do to capacitate Namibians with skills to make sure that ultimately all Namibians are present at all workplaces in this country? Sure.
If you look at the mining industry in Namibia, predominantly are run by Namibians. The workforce are Namibians. If you look at the mine, the smelters are running, probably 98% are Namibians, or even 99% of that. There are Namibians around in the country. We can go and look for that. I'm envisaging we do need extra technical expertise to come in, but I don't foresee that less than 95, 96 or 97%.
What is the technical expertise that we will be importing?
So let me put it this way. Dundee as a company has been recognized globally as one of the most innovative companies when it comes to IT innovation. And just to give you a perspective, just before COVID, our operations in Bulgaria used to get at least 152 mining companies globally to come and see what we have been doing. So having those expertise in the group, those are the type of expertise what we want to bring it in the country and help us to get to that trajectory fast. But as you also had, if you can recall, B2 Gold have recently announced that over a period of time they are scaling down or eventually shutting down their mining operation. Those skills will become readily available in Namibia to be able to deploy it. And Namibia, as you know, we have a lot of higher unemployment number. So there's an opportunity for us to develop those skills and then employ them. So I'm not really worried about that particular skills in terms of for the long run. However, what I'm worried about is during the construction phase. And I must put it this way to get a perspective. You might have had recently, I think last week and this week, 2 of the Iranian mines have got their mining licenses. So getting the mining license, and they said by next year, probably Q3, Q2, Q3, they are making the investment decisions in terms of construction. So that means in next year, we'll have probably 2 or 3 mines will be in construction. That is a skill I'm probably worried that we might have shortage of construction people during that phase only, because there will be competitions because of that. And I think I need to create the Namibian government, the Namibian people, that Namibia is a very attractive destination for mining investment. So that's why we are saying people are making those decisions. So that is a skills where I'm worried that we need to be looking at how we're going to face those things, on how we're going to respond.
So what is the contingency plan in the event that there is a dire shortage of construction employees during that time?
I think this is an opportunity for the Namibians to get into the service delivery to the mining industry. I think I'm just making a call for Namibians to say, guys, there's an opportunity coming up in the next year or so. Let's get ourselves gear up, ready to provide services to the mining industry. And I think that is what is very important. I think Namibia has been good reputations in terms of when they have a mining construction coming on. They've always been delivering on time and in budget. So we have very good reputation of that. But all what I'm saying is that Namibia has been attractive. I think as Namibians, we need to be very proud of that. However, there's another part which I also want to ask our Namibians, those who are in authority and we are making decisions, that we need to expedite whatever those decisions need to be making, because there's a window where these things need to happen. If we take too long to make decisions, or we don't provide the necessary infrastructure which is required, the opportunity moves on. If the prices moves up globally, everybody moves where capital moves, where there's easy flow to get that. But at this time, I'm very proud and very excited that Namibia mining industry has come to a phase where everybody wants to be here. And not only in the mining industry, we have heard around the oil and gas, we're ahead of green hydrogen. All these things are exciting, critical minerals. I think it was very fair that the president mentioned on Monday that Namibia, this is a year of revival, and really we're heading to that, as the president have predicted, where we need to get to.
Very well. Any final thoughts, Mr. Kasete, before we let you go to acquire more mines?
All right, yeah, sure. I think the mining industry in particular, and these particular acquisitions in the Rongo region, around Karipe, Maruru, Shimbingwe, Korihas area, is going to unlock potentials. I think our investment in those areas will also help us to provide infrastructures. Remember, we're going to need power, we're going to need water in those areas. And as we are developing those infrastructure, we'll be sharing with the community. The one thing what Dundee is well known as is to live a positive, sustainable livelihood. So I'm looking forward that our acquisitions and our development, especially around area, I know that area, it's a very dry area. And if we find an innovative way of getting water, those water can be shared with the communities around there and can unlock other potential activities in those areas.
What is that innovative way of getting water to the area?
Currently, there's different ways that the team of Osino have been looked at. They've looked at having a dam in the Kan River to absorb and recharge. We're looking at, I was told as well as a place like Karipe, the sewage water is just put up and evaporated. I'm sure there's something what we can look at that. We're looking at underground water. Osino is working hand in hand with NAM Water to rehabilitate the old borehole systems network. So that will almost make the water available, and compared to what we need, I think we'll have more excess water, which potentially can be shared with the community, because that's the impact what we have with. When we share that and we live a sustainable livelihood with the community, I think that's the biggest impact. If you look at Namibia, all the big towns, or the good towns have been developed, all the people, not all, but most of them has come through mining industry. And the mining industry in Namibia is well known for developing the societies, developing set-up infrastructure.
Notwithstanding your positive bias, particularly towards Tsumeb and Swakopmund, Mr. Kasete.
No. Yeah. Remember, I'm also the president of Chamber of Mines. So if you look all around, I have a privilege of knowing exactly what others are doing. So that is very exciting. I've mentioned that even Roshpina is, I understand they are going ahead with the RP 2.20. So all these are positive development for the country. And I think as Namibians, we must be very proud of that. And I think us in Dundee, this is a very positive Christmas gift for the Namibians. Now it's a hard way to make sure that construction starts and they capture the value and we thrive together.
Okoe passionene.
Badange.
I hope you get to catch your breath over the festive season as well.
Oh, great, sure.
Yeah.
Thank you very much, and Merry Christmas to all the Namibians.
Thank you. Mr. Zebra Kasete is the Managing Director and Vice President of Dundee Precious Metal, talking to us about a very exciting acquisition that will not only boost the local economy through the creation of a job, but the plan is also to leave a sustainable legacy. We will be back after a brief break.